Hi! Working with camera positions is not just useful during design phase, but also an important aspect of creating presentation material. There are two different ways that we can work with camera positions in Capture. The first one involves the 5 recordable and recallable camera positions that are shared between all the views. That means that if we move to a specific position in the alpha view, store that as camera position 1, we can now recall that camera position 1 in the beta view. This means that we can easily store and recall up to 5 different camera positions that may be helpful during the design phase. If, however, you are working with larger productions, or you want to create presentation material where the camera moves between several specific positions, maybe different ones in different songs or parts of the show, then we have a dedicated functionality called Camera Positions in the Design tab. Here we can create catalogs of camera positions. So obviously we need to have at least one catalog in which we can create any number of camera positions. The camera positions user interface is linked to one of the design views. By default, it's linked to the alpha view. So let's record a camera position where the alpha view currently is. Let's call this position A. Let's move the camera to somewhere else and record this as position B. Now if I select another camera position than the one I'm currently at, the view that the user interface is linked to will automatically go to the selected camera position. You can change which view the user interface is linked to and even disable the linkage. So if I select the beta view instead, I can now have the beta view go to different camera positions. You can also give numbers to both catalogs and camera positions. So let's number the one catalog we have as number 1 and our camera positions as number 1 and number 2. What this does is it allows us to control camera transitions using DMX control. This is done by DMX patching a view in Capture. So let's take the alpha view here as an example. Scroll down to the control segment of the view properties in the views category, where you can find the patch property. Now in this example, we have Universe 14 free and available, so that's where we're going to patch the camera. So I enter 14.1 as the patch position, Universe N in this case. Now in new Capture project file, the patch mode is set to standard. Now if you've worked in older versions of Capture, there have been a few other patch modes available, and these are the ones called Legacy. But let's use the standard patch mode in this example. The alpha view has now appeared in the view of the universe. And if we switch over to the fixtures mode, you can see the parameters that we can now control using DMX. This includes selecting a camera catalog as well as a camera position. Now each camera position has a number, so what we did was we numbered them, the catalog as number 1 and the camera positions as number 1 and 2. So these will now correspond to DMX values. So I will also switch the universe view to DMX mode. So if I set the camera parameter to 1, this is a little bit fiddly in this view, but if you're controlling it with a lighting console, it's considerably easier. you can now see that if I jump between 1 and 2, the camera of the alpha view moves. But the view has also gone quite dark, and that's because we have other properties here as well, such as the ambient lighting and exposure of the view. So this way you can use a lighting console as a remote control for your camera positions in Capture, and even record camera transitions using the lighting console along with your cues. So if you are programming a song or a longer presentation, this can include camera transitions if you have patched the view. If you don't want to have instant jumps between different camera positions, you can also use the time parameter as well as the dampening and curvature parameters to modify the way the view jumps between the different camera positions, in this case with a slight curve and dampening. Thank you so much for watching.